Good morning. This is the Shelley Show. Welcome back. And this is Volume 2. So this is all about fun, information, and wellness. And we are here to entertain and inform you. You'll meet someone new each week and learn a little bit more about them. This week, it's going to be Greg, our maintenance director, who's not here yet. But first, we have our health and wellness person, Esther Tchaikovsky. I hope I got that right, Esther. No? Say it. Tell me how it is.
Tchaikovsky.
That's it. Esther Tchaikovsky. Oh,
Well, that was worse.
I'll do it.
okay. Well, Esther, we'd like to hear all about your health and wellness program here at 5 Star. And since you are the director of our PT, OT, and speech therapy called
Agility.
Agility, I'm going to ask you to come here and tell the audience a little bit about it. Thank you. And here's Esther.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Esther Tchaikovsky, or Chaitovsky, and I am the Director of Rehabilitation Services here at 5 Star of TNAC. Our company is called Agility, which is a division of 5 Star. We have been operating a little differently during this COVID-19 pandemic. As you know, our gym is closed as per Department of Health guidelines, and we are reaching out to our patients in their own apartments. So we come to your apartment wearing full protective gear. We are wearing masks, gowns, gloves, goggles, or face shields. So we are doing our utmost to protect everyone, ourselves and you included. We are providing physical occupational therapy services. We also are going to be resuming our fitness program being delivered by one of the therapists at this time. So if you are in need of physical or occupational therapy, we're here for you. If you want to start a fitness program, we're here for you. For the physical and occupational therapy, you would need a doctor's prescription. We can come, if you're not sure what you need, we can come and do a quick screening in your apartment to figure out what would be most appropriate for you, whether you need a skilled service or whether fitness would be more appropriate. It is very important at this time when everyone is so quarantined and not moving in their apartments to begin a fitness program of some sort of exercise. I know Debbie is on every day doing her thing, and that is terrific. Our concern for you is that with your lack of movement, you're going to begin to develop some muscle weakness. Your balance might be compromised, setting you up at a higher risk for falling. All of those things are very, very bad. As you know, we don't want anyone going to the emergency room now. TVAC is busy enough without having to come here to pick you up off the floor. So, how does it work? You give me a call. I'm at extension 216. Leave me a message because I'm not in my office most of the time because I'm out in people's apartments, and we will set you up with whatever it is you need. I have a few more things I could say. Do I still have time? Okay. One of the other risk factors of lack of movement in the older population is osteoporosis, which is a weakening of the bones that happens as we age normally, and also with lack of pressure on the long bones, meaning if you're sitting a lot, the only bones that are getting pressure are your sitting bones. That's not where the osteoporosis usually happens. So you need to be up, walking, doing some repetitions, some strengthening exercises and resistive exercises. Again, we can help you with those things. We can guide you as to what exercises are most appropriate, how many repetitions, whether you should be using weights. We can also assess the safety in your apartment, how to get in and out of your shower safely, but that's for another time. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and looking forward to hearing from you soon.
Thank you,
Okay,
Esther.
thank you.
And Esther will be back next week with some more tips. Health and wellness. And now, our very special guest is here, Greg. And Greg, let me ask you, how do you pronounce your last name?
Mergian is fine.
Mergian is fine. Greg Mergian is fine, and he is our maintenance director. And we're going to hear from Greg. We're going to ask him some questions. You are going to learn everything you ever wanted to know about Greg. Good morning, Greg.
Why, good morning, Shelley.
And tell me, what is your favorite tool?
Well, I thought I was going to answer my own questions.
Okay, then you go ahead.
Okay, first, Michelle, do you have my good side?
Right
Okay,
there.
good.
Perfect.
Good. Well, first of all, when I took this job at 5-Star, I had no idea that I was also going to be a movie star. So it's a pleasure for me to be on Channel 591 to address you all, and we're going to keep this a fun time because for a year and a half, we basically answer all your questions, maintenance and housekeeping, and we want to make this a fun time. So it's an honor for me to be on the Shelley Show, and I just want to say Shelley is a really good egg. Okay?
Is it scrambled?
No, hard-boiled.
Hard-boiled,
Hard-boiled.
okay.
And, okay, so I wanted to prepare a little better for this, but our days are so busy and so hectic, this is really going to be kind of an ad-lib time. So here's a couple of questions that I would like to answer. And there's a question here. I was given some questions, and I thought this one was a good one. If you won the lottery, what would you do with the money? Well, this is what I'd do. I'd get us all out of Teaneck until this whole crisis is over. We'd go to a nice private island, and we'd have a blast. And then when everything was over, we'd come back. What do you think of that? That was just very impromptu, but that's what we would do. And on the island, I would not subject you all to be quarantined. So some of my earliest memories and my most special and precious memories are, my grandmother was very special to me in my life. And some of my most special and precious memories were, we grew up in a very rough neighborhood in the South Bronx, and trips to the laundromat and trips to the local A&P with my grandmother were some of the most special memories in my life. It was just such a joy to go out with her and just do regular things like that, and just to get out of the apartment. And so that's some of my special memories. What do I do to relax? Absolutely nothing. I don't really understand the word relax too much in my life. So this is not probably an answer that I even like, but what I do to relax is I organize things. I organize my paperwork, I organize my tools, I organize my office, and things like that. And that's what I do to relax, because then when I go back to work, it actually helps me to be more relaxed because I have my things in order. And this is an important one for me. What is the most important lesson you have learned in life? Actually, there are two. And one is that it is more blessed to give than it is to receive. And I have found the greatest joys in my life to be when I'm able to help people, when I'm able to give to people, when I'm able to relieve some suffering, some hardships. And that brings me really the greatest joy in my life. And that has been from my youngest age. I was that guy who would stop to help you when I saw you on the side of the road with a flat tire. That just came naturally for me. And so that's one lesson I've learned in life. The second is I'm still learning, because I think as one of the hardest things we have to do as people is to learn to listen well. We all like to speak, and we are always thinking we're forming our answers long before people are speaking with us. And actually this comes from the Bible, from the book of James, and it says, "Let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger." And we all know that God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. And so the importance to be focused on listening more and speaking less, or thinking before we speak. And So that's something that I'm still learning, obviously. It's hard to be a good listener. And so anyway, that's one of the things I'm still learning, but the importance of really tuning in, listening to people, making eye contact, not forming your answers, just listening and allows us to know people better. And this also ties in with another question that I'd like to answer, that what's one of the modern technologies that I find annoying? And one of the technologies that I find so annoying is the text messaging. And it really, really troubles me, especially when I'm sitting around, when we used to be able to sit around a dinner table, so a few months ago, that people are looking at their phones and texting, and they can't even take time out to enjoy a meal and look at one another and share stories and converse with one another and make eye contact. That really troubles me. And everyone is always looking down at their phones. You sit with someone and it's always focused on the phone, the text message, the email that came. And that really annoys me. That's, I think, one modern technology, Miss Shelley, that we can do without. And it's also, I think, prevented people from looking at one another and being able to communicate properly and express themselves, because that's very important. So that's just a little snapshot of some of my thoughts with these questions that I was handed. And I only answered a few of them. And so that maybe that gives you a little bit more insight into who I am. Shelley, do you have anything for me?
Yes, I still want to know what your favorite tool is and how it helps you in your job.
Okay. Well, thank you, Shelley, for being so persistent. And she wouldn't let go of that question. So actually, our executive director helped me to think outside of the box with this, so I have to give Rich credit for this one. I'm not going to take credit for it. So when Shelley first asked me the question what my favorite tool was, what does my mind go to? You all know, screwdriver, hammer, cordless drill. And I couldn't think outside of the box of that. And I'm trying to think, what is my favorite tool? And I'm like, none of them are really my favorite tools. I need all of them. But then as we were walking out of one of our meetings, Rich said, you know what I think one of your greatest tools are, and that's the gift of compassion. And I said, you know something, Rich, you're absolutely right, because for 26 years that I've been working with a senior population, truly from my heart, it's not a put on, my greatest gift out of my toolbox is compassion. And I have a great respect for the elderly. You've paid a lot of dues, you've lived your lives, a lot of you have been in the service, you've raised children, you've been grandmothers, grandfathers, fathers, mothers, you've lived your lives, and you've worked hard, and now it's your time to kick back and relax a little, and you have perhaps more special needs because things have slowed down. And so the greatest tool, Shelley, for me is compassion. To show compassion to those around me, to lighten your load a little bit, to bring help, to bring some kind of joy, to bring a smile, to bring maybe a little conversation while we're doing the repairs. And my heart is really with seniors. I never planned to be working with a senior population for 26 years, but as I was taking care of my own grandmother for 2 years, the first job that opened up for me was actually in a senior building in Yonkers, New York, which I was for 16 years. And it just snowballed into healthcare, and it snowballed into me coming here to be with you all in 5-star, which is a pleasure for me. So it's been a pleasure working with you all. I do honor you as seniors. I appreciate working with you, and I do have the utmost respect for each of you.
Thank you very much.
Is my time up?
Your time is up.
Okay.
Go to the next meeting, please.
Okay, thank you, Miss Shelley, and it's
Thank
been an
you.
honor to be on your show.
Thank you.
And have a wonderful day, everyone.
Thank you. And now, we are about to hear from Laura Braff. You're going to hear all the upcoming events, the news, and some of the good things that are going on. Again, Miss Laura Braff, Lifestyle 360 Director.
Go, Laura.
Hello, everybody. It's good to see you again. Okay. Again, this program, I've got lots to tell you. I do want to start off this time with wishing everybody who has a June birthday a happy birthday. So here we go. Hazel Corman on the 2nd, just passed. Lenny Yavner, the 3rd, just passed. Bob Levine on the 4th. Samir James on the 4th. Terry Voles on the 5th, today. Happy birthday. Bernice Weiner on the 6th. Al, I'm not sure I'm saying your name right, so I apologize. Raciati on the 8th. Lee Cohn on the 9th. Bundy Benau on the 11th. Vinka Parakonich on the 12th. Lily Fields on the 15th. Shirley Slotowitz on the 18th. Oscar Gold on the 20th. Susie Linkfield on the 26th. Alicia Reithoff on the 26th. Thelma Perez on the 27th. And Renee Batavia on the 28th. If I missed anybody, please give me a call in the lifestyle office. I'll say it on the next program. Lots of fun things coming up. We've got our ice cream sundae cart. We already went to the 1st and 2nd floors north on Monday. Yesterday, we went to the 3rd, 4th, and 5th floors north. And coming up on Friday, we have the 2nd and 3rd floors south. And on Monday, the 8th, we have the 4th and 5th floors south. So please enjoy the ice cream sundaes that are coming around to your door. All right. Fun programming coming up on Channel 591. We've got an American Pageant of the Arts from the Kennedy Center. This is a repeat program. It'll be on this evening at 8 o'clock on your in-house channel. This is an historic release from the Kennedy Center's archives. President John F. Kennedy and Dwight D. Eisenhower are the special guests on this, which originally aired in 1962. Leonard Bernstein hosted the evening. The lineup included actor-comedian Danny Kaye, poet Robert Frost, pianist Andre Previn and Van Cliburn, and 7-year-old cellist Yo-Yo Ma and his sister on the piano. Actor Hal Holbrook as Mark Twain, comedian Bob Newhart, singer Harry Belafonte, and lots of others. It should be fantastic. Coming up this Saturday night on Channel 591 is a revival on Broadway of the show Company. It's the winner of the 2007 Tony Award, sweeping all the major theater awards for Best Revival of a Musical. A beloved era-defining classic is stunningly reinvented in this powerful Broadway production, featuring an explosive starring performance by Raul Esparza. Thank you. Thank you, Michelle. Esparza. You can tell this is a one-take show.
That was on Law and Order.
All right. Moving on to some great letters that we got. We love hearing from everybody. Rita Belaski wrote, "Dear Michelle," she wrote this to Michelle, "talk about razzle-dazzle-em. I'm talking about the Jerry Herman show, which we showed on Channel 591. What music, what an ensemble, what voices. If you could bring to 591 some of the shows of the 50s, 60s, it would bring a little bit of heaven to 5-star for me and the best years of my life. You're doing an amazing job." Thank you, Michelle.
All right, Michelle.
Fred Levinson shared with me he's so happy to be seeing things on our in-house channel that he couldn't ordinarily see and that we ordinarily can't air. We have an opportunity to show things and stream things in that are being offered during this COVID crisis. He especially loved Faust, the Faust opera. And on a side note, he recommends you're watching channels 897, 898, and 899 for wonderful classical music and more modern music. Thank you, Fred. All right. Then we got a letter from Bundy Benau. Okay, he's the chair of the maintenance committee, the resident committee. And he said, "In my job as chairman of the Resident Facilities Committee, I have worked with 4 directors of facility services. Greg, who we just saw, has been the best by far. Here are a few examples. We're so lucky to have you. Our heating and air conditioning equipment and our laundry room equipment is heavily used and outdated and prone to constant problems, and Greg is very knowledgeable with the system and with the equipment, and has set up ongoing preventative procedures that have been very effective. So they really appreciate it. This is sort of a Reader's Digest version. Very long letter, all kudos to you. Thank you, Greg. And we have another letter here, and it says, we have lived through a Great Depression, World War II, 9/11, and many other events, and have come out okay. We are now living in another stressful, scary, and life-changing time. We are heavily dependent on the staff at 5 Star. We are indebted to Robin Granite, who was our executive director from several years ago, who's since passed away, sadly, for putting together such a strong team and developing such a dedicated group. It took a lot of work and innovation to bring it to fruition. Much of this team is still here, and we're going strong. We just keep on going. Individually and collectively, you all deserve our unending praise. The entire crew is wonderful. Just saying we are grateful, it's not enough. Know that we feel it, and we're so much better off having all of you. You're so special, and this letter was from Freya and Bundy Benau. Thank you. We've gotten some more notes on menus, everybody. Keep them coming. We get terrific notes. This is from Barbara Borchardt. She highlighted on this one, thank you for the pistachio ice cream. If you have any recommendations, make sure you write them down. This one is from Jean Strauss. Jean gave us many, many notes, so I picked out one. They love getting your notes, Jean. Keep them coming. Thank you very much for the Wednesday Danish, and this is directed to Emmy. Thank you, Emmy. You're always great. Love, Jean. Okay, a little silver lining from Lillian Silverstein. She's on our resident telephone committee, and she shared that the people who she's been talking with have really touched her heart, and she can't wait to meet them all in person once it's safe to do. I think something that I'm going to do is print people's pictures and give it to the telephone committee so they can actually see a picture of who they're talking to every day. Thank you, telephone committee. All right, some good news from residents. Tamara Gottfried shared that her granddaughter, Hannah Gottfried, graduated from the University of Delaware this past May with a bachelor's degree in health and behavioral science. Starting this fall, she'll be pursuing her doctorate in occupational therapy at Boston University. And she shared this picture. I don't know if it's going to be close enough. Congratulations, Hannah, good job. Okay. And Susan Friedman became a grandmother for the 4th time on June 1st to 9 pounds 2 ounces Charles Michael Epstein, a big guy. He takes after his father, who's 6'7". His petite mom is only 5'4". Congratulations, Susan. And another congratulations to Chris Scarpa, our housekeeper, to Nico Giovanni, who was born on May 18th at 12:30 p.m., 7 pounds 3 ounces, 20 inches long. It's his 4th child.
Congratulations, Chris.
You go, Chris.
Go, Chris.
Adorable. And here's something from your resident council president, Bob Mensch. All 5 Star residents, the 5 Star Tenants Association is conducting the annual fund drive for the Teaneck Volunteer Ambulance Corps, or TVAC. A letter and envelope for your donation was delivered. Please put your tax-deductible contribution on the chair outside your apartment in the envelope provided. A staff member will pick it up. Many thanks to your kind generosity for this important and free service. If you have any questions, please call Bob. You can find him in the resident directory, but I'll say his number, 201-357-5822. Also, in our newsletter, we ask for people to give us old photographs of themselves, either as a child or as a teenager. We had a Guess Who from this resident. If you haven't read your newsletter yet, try to guess who that is. And we'd love to get more pictures. Spoiler alert, it's Susie Linkfield. Thank you so much. If you have any old photographs, don't tell anybody, but call me up and I'll come and get it and we'll put it in our next issue. I want to thank everybody so much for being brave and for hanging in there. I love you, we all love you. And now off to Shelley.
All right, forward.
And I am going to remind everybody again, like I do, wear a mask. Wear a mask. Please, please wear a mask. And the next thing I'm about to do is give you the weather. Yes, there is weather. And yes, tonight there is darkness. There will be darkness. So if there's any other questions you might have for us, or if there are any guests that you want, let us know. Next week, we're going to have a surprise guest. It's going to be a surprise to me and a surprise to you. So, again, this is the Shelley Show. If you have any questions, please give us a call. And I look forward to seeing you again next week. This will be on TV on 591 at 4 p.m. today. And if you have any questions what 591 is, it is your in-house channel.
All right, Shelley.